Hey guys, this is Rosa Kelly. Welcome back to the channel and to the last day of the 12 days of Christmas. Hi guys, today is the day we're going to be announcing the giveaway for this series. But yeah, so for the giveaway, one of the projects that I created for the series, which is this pocket book, is I think the one that you guys like the most, and I definitely wanted to share this with you. So if you are the winner, you will be getting this pocket book Christmas folio. And also I put together a little prize package. Now this prize package is more oriented a little bit, or at least what I wanted to do, is something more Valentine's. So if you start crafting now, that could probably be your next project. But so I have here some Prima flowers, a set of 12. I love these colors here. Then I have some stamps. These stamps have different sentiments, saying like thinking of you. It has all kinds of things, but it has XOXO that I think you can use for Valentine's Day, or like just a note or something like that. But it also has thank you, it has happy anniversary, thank you for your friendship, so it has a little bit of everything. Then I have this paper collection by Kaiser Craft that I just absolutely love the colors. So it has a lot of flower backgrounds. I love the combination of the colors here. Like this page here is so pretty, and I match the flowers to match these colors here. So if you use this for a mini album, that could be your cover. And it has all kinds of beautiful designs that are also very cute if you wanted to just use these to make cards for Valentine's Day. Look how cute these butterflies are, and you can actually fussy cut these and use them as ephemera. And so that is the collection. Look how pretty the colors of the flowers. This also has different sentiments here: sending love, thinking of you, and I love you, and all of that. So it's really pretty for Valentine's Day. Has some foil pages, and then over here we have some like tabs that are kind of like cornered. You can put on the edge of your pages. More sentiments here, a lot of love things. There's one more here. So these are all pre-cut, pre-punch for you to press. And then I have some embossing folders. So this one is so cute because it has all these little hearts everywhere, so you can create some tags with that. And then this other Griffin embossing folder, which I think it will be really cute for a card, like a cover, or again a mini album. And you can use this center, I don't know if the camera is picking this center window here to add a note, but you can also cut it and make it into like a beautiful window card. And that is the little giveaway that I am having. So to be part of the giveaway, please make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure that you're leaving a comment and as many videos as you can from the series, and also make sure to leave a like. And yeah, I will be selecting the winner this Sunday because I want to make sure to have this shipped by Monday, hopefully. So we are going to be now selecting. So hopefully we will get a bingo today. Let's see. I know my friend Debbie already had a bingo, so congrats, Debbie. But let's see here. What? Oh, I can't. I only got one. Okay, so my prompt is going to be Frosty, and Frosty is over here. So we did not make a bingo, you guys. Oh my goodness. I am heartbroken that we didn't make one bingo. But that's okay. We had a lot of fun creating all these projects. So yeah, so let me just, there's no way. But yeah, so Frosty is our prompt for today. So let's see, what can we make? Okay, so for the Frosty prompt, I found this fabric on my stash, and I have been missing these type of Christmas journals that I had. These are kind of like a December daily. I don't follow like the daily exactly sometimes, but I just really like flipping through the pages and just kind of looking at all the things that we did, even if they're just like home pictures. But I do miss this type of documenting for the holidays, so I decided to make something very similar to this, or actually like something exactly like this, with the fabric cover and the chipboard, to kind of just have another fun little Christmassy journal. And so I'm going to be using the fabric that has this frosted snowman, and I'm going to be using some chipboard and some cardstock, some white cardstock. This is just lightweight cardstock for the binding. And then I was looking through my stash, and I don't really have a lot of paper that will match this collection. And as you know, I have been using mainly my stash for these projects, and I found this collection here. This one is called Winterland by Mintai, and I only have a few sheets, but I like that it's double-sided, and I also like that it matches perfectly with the colors of my fabric here. Now I don't have a lot, so I don't know yet what else I will use to complement, but I guess we can get started with that. I also have a lot of like the stickers, so it will be really fun to just use everything that I have left from this collection, a lot of ephemera to cut apart. So it will be another collection done of my stash. And so yeah, so let's get right into working on the binding. I'll probably mix it up with other papers, or maybe I'll just put some white pages to decorate later on. But I want to start by just putting together the chipboard pieces. So these chipboard pieces were cut. These are 8.5 by 5.5, and I'm just going to glue this on my lightweight cardstock. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this one here. Okay, and I'm mainly using the white so the fabric doesn't look too dark against the chipboard. So if I show you here, depending on how thin your fabric is, you see how it looks a lot better when you have the white cardstock there compared to just the chipboard. Makes it look really a little bit darker, but that's what I want to do. So then the spine I cut at 2 inches. Wait, let me double check that. Let's see, this is, yes, so I cut the spine at 8.5 by 2 inches, and I'm just gonna glue this here and leave just a little space between these two pieces here. Okay, so that's gonna go right there. And then I'm going to add the other chipboard piece here. Okay, so I'm just gonna place that right there. Okay, and I also do want to finish up this section here, because again, I don't want to see that color difference on the fabric. So we're just gonna add this right here. Okay, so I'm just gonna put that right there, and then I'm just going to cut the extra. Okay, and then I'm going to just glue this here on the inside to secure my chipboard, my binding. Okay, and I'm just going to place that right here. Okay, so the binding, it's pretty much done, and then we're just going to cover this with the fabric. I am going to score on these bending lines, so I'm just going to score along the bending lines here. And we're going to fold these sides in, and there we go. Okay, so now we have these ready to cover with the fabric. So I'm just gonna grab my fabric here, and we are gonna place these. I think here will be a good place. I always like to see how the image is going to land on the cover. So I am missing a little clip here, but basically I just put the fabric under my base and I trim out the extra, and then I cut a little section that I went ahead and glue on the inside of the spine. So then I'm just gonna wrap the fabric all around, and I'm just gonna fold it here so we have a nice clean edge instead of putting that side. So I'm gonna add a little glue right there so I can fold it, and then we're just gonna add the glue all over here. Let's put some more glue on there. Okay, and then we're just gonna fold that and go on top, press down. Okay, so I'm just gonna add a little more glue, and there we go. And then we're just going to do the same.
Jingle bells ringing in my ear. Jingle bell, a sound that's oh so dear. Frosty the snowman is all around town. Watch out for reindeers are falling down. We stay up waiting for Santa tonight. He climbs down the chimney at the speed of light, while we're dancing around the Christmas tree, hugging and kissing just you and me. Carolers are singing outside our door, lovely songs we all heard before, as they walk from house to house to wish us all a Merry Christmas Day. Oh, a Merry Christmas Day. Oh, we're chasing snowflakes as they're falling down, and follow Rudolph all across the town. Later we meet under the mistletoe, while Santa's busy saying ho ho ho. We're feeling jolly, eating Christmas cake, and then we go skating on the frozen lake, saying hi to every friendly face.
Okay, so then for the closure, I'm going to add some of this lace, and I'm just gonna glue these all the way here so we have a good grip on that. So I'm just gonna add my glue all the way over here. Okay, and then I'm going to cut these somewhere over here like that. Okay, and I'm just going to add more glue, and I went ahead and cut 2 pieces of cardstock, and these are 5 1/4 by 8 1/4, and I'm just gonna glue these 2 pieces here. So let's add the glue. Okay, so I'm using the cover of the collection, as you can see, because we're maximizing all of our cardstock here. Okay, so we're just gonna press down. Okay, and then press down, and then I am going to hold these with some paper clips. Okay, just on the corners here. I'm gonna add more glue. and then we're just gonna use that, and we're going to do the same on the other side.
Lines are busting out the door, Christmas songs in every store. Can't stand to hear one more, please won't you make it stop. Snow is piled 5 feet high, dog ate the pecan pie. Hurry up, store-bought is fine, Christmas time again. They say it's so pretty, that time in New York City.
Okay, so now let's work on the pages. So I'm going to be using my 12x12 scrapbook paper, and I have about 10 sheets here. So I'm complementing with other non-Christmassy paper, but I think the colors complement the collection. And I'm going to cut these pieces. We're going to do all of these at 10.5 by 8.5. So I'm just going to cut. Let's put this here to the side. Okay, so just gonna see how the paper will look. So we'll cut this at 8.5, and then by 10.5. Let's see here, 10.5. I think I'm gonna cut it this way, so that way when I fold this in half, I get more of the Christmas tree on this side here. So all you're gonna do is cut them and fold them in half, and that's gonna be one of the pages. And I'm going to have 2 groups of 5 pages together. So again, I'm gonna cut these at 8.5. So now I have my 2 signature pages. So basically I have about 4 or 5 sheets on each one. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think I have about 5 or 6 on each. So anyway, so what we're gonna do next is we are going to poke the holes. So I'm just gonna grab one of my pages and I'm going to poke 3 holes. So we're just gonna do, I'm not gonna measure, I'm just gonna randomly do the center and then one side and the other side. Okay, now I do want all of these to be even, so I'm gonna use that page as a template, and I'm going to poke the holes now through the whole set. So I'm gonna clip this so it doesn't move, and always watch for your fingers on the back. Okay, and so that's that, and then I'm going to use that same sheet and use it as a template for the other set here. So I'm just gonna clip this, and then we're gonna poke again. 1, 2, and 3 here. Okay, so you want to poke the 3 holes, and I'm gonna put this one back on this side. Okay, so once we have that, we're also going to poke the 3 holes on our cover piece, and so I'm just gonna kind of center where will I put my signatures. So I'm gonna place them one here and one here. So if you are measuring, which I am not, you will space your signatures. I will probably do the first one at 1/2 inch from the front bending line, and then I'll do the second one 1/2 inch from the bottom bending line to kind of get it a little bit equal. But I am just going to place my first signature here. I'm just gonna eyeball these, and I'm gonna clip these here, and I'm going to poke the same 3 holes because I do want the holes to be even on the cover. Okay, so that's 1, 2, and 3. So you want to make sure you go through the chipboard, through the fabric. Okay, and there you go. And then I'm going to move this signature down, so you can see here 1, 2, and 3, and I'm going to go down and then leave a space, and now we're gonna clip it again and do the second row of holes for the other signature. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so just super easy, not trying to do a lot of measuring or anything like that. And then you can see here, and it's hard to see for the fabric design, but here's 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and then 1, and you can really see this one, but you can feel it. So I'm just gonna make sure that it pokes through the fabric as well. Okay, so next you're gonna need some embroidery needle. So I'm gonna use this one here. I just got a bigger one from Hobby Lobby for a different project that I was gonna work on, but I'm gonna use it because I want to use some eyelash trim. This is actually yarn, and I think this will look really pretty for the outside, kind of like more fuzzy, like the snow maybe. Okay, so I'm gonna try to pass this through. Okay, and there we go. Okay, and so I have here the needle, and you want to make sure one side of your thread is longer, and we're gonna start with the first one here, pass that through the center, and then we're gonna pass that through the center of the spine right there. Okay, let's just got a big needle here. Okay, so we're gonna go that way and then find the hole here. It's a little bit hard to see because of the fabric, but there we go. So it's right there, so I'm gonna go through the chipboard and then through the pages here. Okay, and always make sure this is secure so it's not falling, it's not passing through. So I'm gonna just go ahead and clip that here so I don't lose that end. Okay, and then we're just gonna pull this through, and then we're going to go back now to the top, and that pre-made hole, pull through. Okay, and now we're just gonna go back the center. This is the tricky one sometimes to find that, but there we go. Alright, so just go through, and there we go. And just like that, we have the first signature. So now we're just gonna make sure the string is going both sides of that center string, and we are just going to tie. Let's see. Whoops. It's tricky to tie when you're using this type of yarn here, but there we go. So we're just gonna tie, and then tie right there, and that's gonna be the first one. And now we're just gonna do the same. So on the spine you'll see the little fuzzy yarn, which is what I like. Okay, and now we're gonna just go ahead and do the same. I'm gonna use a new piece of my yarn here, pass that through. One side is longer, and we're gonna go right the center to the center that we pre-made. Pull this out. Okay, and then we're gonna go this pre-made hole, and this one's right there. Okay, so pull, 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 and then we're going to, and make sure you don't pull this out, but we're gonna go to the top and find that hole. If you don't see it, you will feel it on the chipboard, because the chipboard leaves kind of like a little bump when you poke the hole. So yeah, I don't see it, but here it is. Okay, found it. And then we're just gonna pull and go down the center again. Okay, and then just gonna match the center and pull. Okay, so make sure one is to the other side of that center. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull this way, and now we're just gonna pull both and tie. Okay, so make a knot and make a knot, and there you go. So basically that is it, adding these pages here. So now you have all your pages for your book, and you can add more pictures, even add more flaps, because this is cardstock, so it can take a lot of weight here compared to using like the tea-dye paper that's a little bit more fragile. Okay, so we have all of our pages. I actually like the combination of the different design cardstock. And if you want to have a space to write, then you can use one-sided cardstock, so that way on the back you have a white space to write things down. I love this page here. Okay, so those are all the pages, and then I'm just gonna finish up by adding more detail to these. So I have some trim that I want to use. I have some pom-pom trim, and also I thought it would be fun to kind of do a little like tassel like I did for this one. So I'm gonna get a ring bind thing here, and we're just gonna go ahead and make one of these. Okay, so I have here some more of my eyelash trim, some lace here, and then also this other pretty trim with some blue on it. So I'm gonna use all of these to make a quick tassel. So I'm just gonna cut some of these and just gonna pick the length that you want, and make sure like the length will be double, because we're gonna be folding this in half. So I think this is a good length. Okay, so I'm gonna cut that. Okay, so you just want to cut now strings that are the same length here. Okay, so I'm just gonna use this one as a reference, and then we can always trim it down at the end. And I'm just gonna get maybe 2 of each type of lace. So here's this one, that, and another one here. Okay, so 2 of those, and I actually might need more of this one here. So I'm just gonna cut a couple more of this type. Okay, so we have about 8, so we have 4 and then 4 of these other ones. I'm just gonna keep them all straight on top of each other, just like that. And then here's another one. Okay, and then we're gonna pass that through. I'm gonna use one of these ring bounds, and we're just gonna put this at the center here, and then we're just gonna fold these down, and then here on the top I'm gonna use another one of my eyelash trim here, which is getting all tangled. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut another one of these. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna cut a long piece. And we're going to just gonna wrap around all the fabric here. Okay, so just like that. And then I'm gonna make a knot. I'm just gonna tie this. Okay, so we just went around a few times, and I'm gonna tie this. Okay, and tie. Okay, and then we're just gonna let that extra hang too, so it's part of the tassel. And look how pretty this looks. I like the little touches of blue, and it just looks so delicate with all these laces. Okay, so now I'm just gonna even this up a little bit. I do like the different lengths, but I'm gonna take some of these ones out. Okay, and there we go. Now to add to your journal, you want to poke a hole, and then you might want to add an eyelash right there, but I don't have any, so I'm gonna do that later. But I am gonna poke the hole just so we can add it here. So right in between the two signatures, and just poke a hole right about there. Okay, and this should go through the fabric, no problem, but it will be good to add the eyelash so the fabric doesn't run. Okay, and then we are just going to open this up and place that right there. And look how cute it looks. So pretty. I love it. It just makes it look so delicate. It's so girly. And then I'm just, this hanging one here you can either keep or trim. So I think I'm actually gonna trim mine. I don't like when they hang out of the page too much. And then I'm just going to add my pom-pom trim on some of the pages. And then I'm going to use this other trim to kind of just cover here the connection between the cardstock and the fabric. So I think that will look really pretty here, just to kind of clean that up, make it look more finished. So I'm going to add my glue right here and use this, and I love that it matches the colors of the pom-pom trim and the collection. Okay, and then we're just gonna do that over here also. So to finish up, I'm going to add this December diary. This is a ephemera sticker from this collection. So I'm just gonna glue this on the cover here. I think it goes perfect with the colors and the theme of this book. So I'm just gonna put that right there. And then also, wait, let's make sure it's straight. Yeah, okay, and then also I'm going to use some jingle bells and just tie them here on my eyelash trim to make this journal look like Christmas and sound like Christmas. So here we have the final result of our project today. I love the sound of the jingle bells here on the tassel and the different textures and colors. It just makes it look so pretty, so delicate. I have here the December diary on the cover. Love the colors of the fabric and how they match with this collection, the pom-pom trim, the lace. I hope that you guys enjoy making this book with me. I hope that you give it a try and that you enjoy filling it up with all kinds of Christmas December memories. And I want to thank you so much for being part of the series. Don't forget to leave a comment, leave a like. I will be announcing the winner to the giveaway this weekend, and so yeah, make sure to go check out Debbie. And thank you so much, Debbie, for all your projects. I really had fun and I enjoy watching you create so many different things. It's not easy coming up with a project every day, so thank you so much, Debbie, and I will see you guys on the next one.
Lines are busting out the door, Christmas songs in every store.